Well, good morning, YTPC. It's Dave coming to you from the Paddock here in Southern Maryland. A couple of you also asked more questions about where did Paddock come from and how's it related to cars. So I'll do a better job of answering that with some old race photos, but not today. It's a little before noon on Wednesday, the 21st of February. That officially makes it late February for me. I always do my months in 10 days. So 1 through 10 is early, 11 through 20 is mid, and 21 through the end of the month is late. So it is now late February. So we're coming up on the end of 2 months in 2024. So I hope you are making 2024 a good year. Remember, the year doesn't happen to you, you happen to the year. Life doesn't happen to you, you happen to life. All right. So the pipe saga, what do we got going on today? So today we have a Peterson. It is a Peterson Aaron 106 smooth fishtail. It's nice, it's light. So these kind of a cadre pipe, I think. But anyway, they're light. They're very clenchable. So Dave over at St. David, man, look at me clenching my pipe and talking to you, and pretty crazy. What is in this today is a continuing tour of my cadre blends. So today we got some Sir Walter Raleigh in the Peterson 106. So the cadre blends, guys, this is day 5 of my cadre tour. I'm not entirely sure my mouth is mature enough yet to tell a Carter Hall from a Granger, from a Prince Albert to a Sir Walter Raleigh, but I will tell you my mouth likes the cadre blends. They seem lighter. They're tasty. I do like them. They pack well. They burn well. I think they burn a little bit hot, so I gotta be careful I don't, that I sip them. I don't freight train them. And I noticed that my briar pipes like to get hot too compared to my meerschaum. So I'm getting used to smoking a cadre blend, which burns a little hotter, in briar, which burns a little hotter. So it's a bit of a little bit different for me. All right, so my cadre blend started with Captain Black, and then day 2 was Carter Hall, day 3 was Prince Albert, yesterday was Granger, and today is Walter Raleigh. So that's been the lineup the last 5 days, and I'm also keeping track of the pipes I'm using. So you've seen my Bing's favorite, my Aeron, my meerschaum, Missouri meerschaum, and then now my Peterson 106. I also appreciate you putting up with me doing 2 lunch yesterday. Some of you got my joke. Some of you probably got it and were offended. But anyway, the Paddock lunt was so ugly, which is why I've never done it. I just had to take you over home and show you around the home property because it's far better. And then I'll do a lunt around the horse farm. I got to be careful. We have a no smoking rule on the farm because fires are what kill more horses than just about anything at horse farms. So we allow no smoking on the property. So as the owner, I got to be careful if I'm going to walk around smoking, and I've got to do it when there's pretty much nobody around. So I'll get it done, but the horse farm lunt will be coming someday in the future. So guys, I looked this up a little bit. Sir Walter Raleigh was an actual guy, a dude that lived back in England. He was born in 1552. He died in 1618. He died by beheading. Ouch. The king was trying to sign a peace accord with Spain, and Sir Walter Raleigh went and invaded Spain. Kind of blew that up a little bit. So king had him executed. So pretty crazy. The tobacco, he's famous Anyway, this is probably for you English guys, a bit of a religious debate, but this is what it says in the history books. The history book says that he introduced tobacco to England, and he did so on July 27th, 1586. I wasn't there. Don't know if it was true. I have no idea if that date's true or if this guy did it, but that's what the history books say. That he introduced tobacco to England in 1586. So the brand itself, I looked up. It was first offered in 1927, and then in 2000, Lane bought the rights, and I guess it's produced by Lane now. I haven't even looked that up, but I thought it was interesting. So this has been around since 1927. So it's got quite a bit of history to it. Anyway, just thought that was cool. The namesake and then the tobacco brand itself. I just thought I'd try to throw some intelligence out there, since I can't review the blend. I don't have the palate for it, so I threw a little history in. So you guys, Mark Welsh Piper kind of asked about my cigar cellar, and was I really showing all my cigars here in Maryland and kind of what's going on there. So I thought I'd show you the collection. It's much smaller. It's pretty non-impressive, especially compared to the tobacco cellar I've built over the last 12, 13 months. I actually started this whole process with cigars, but I immediately shifted over to the pipe. I enjoy, particularly when I'm sitting indoors, I enjoy the pipe more than I do cigars. But when I'm sitting outside or walking or driving, as you saw me driving, I consider a cigar much easier. But my mouth enjoys the pipe more than the cigars. The other thing is, when I'm here in Maryland, I really don't go to lounges much. The one closest to me is really kind of nasty, dirty, never cleaned, smells like it's never been cleaned. So it's just not something I'm too interested in. I know, there's a couple of you live close. We might do a meetup at one, but you guys have to tell me where you want to go, because I'm not going to the one I'm aware of. But when I'm in Wyoming, I pretty much go to my local cigar lounge 5 or 6 days a week, because I have several buddies and we meet up there. And so the cigar experience is much more robust in Wyoming than it is here. So I'll have to do a cigar tour once I get to Wyoming. And then in the Wyoming house, I had that giant stand-up. It's a professional size humidor. I mean, I think it's got something like $100. It might be more than that capacity. So it'll take a long time to do the research and buy it. But the goal is to have an open box and then an aging box or two across most of our brands. And I've got several guys in the cigar industry that'll help me. I know what I like so far, so that'll be easy, but that won't take the humidor very far. So we'll see. It'll be a little by little. But what I'm going to do is turn around and show you what I have here. And then I'm going to get out and show it individually so you can see what I actually have here and what I like. And that's really about it. There's no other purpose other than just show you and be social, to be honest. All right, guys, I've shown you this before, but this is it. This is every cigar in Maryland for me. And I've got, here, you can see it right here. This is a Wi-Fi. It's a temperature humidifier, humidity measuring tool. It's Bluetooth, so it really just hooks up to my phone. And it just lets me know if I got a problem or if everything's at the temperature and at the humidity I expect. But this is it. So there's my main humidors and my little desk humidor, and then 6 Tupperdoors, and then some of these, like, Mark, you gave me these for a gift. I haven't really opened them yet. And then I had a box of Oliva V Milanios come in. That's really it. So I'm not gonna open each one of these up, but I will show you what's in them. And then I've shown you this before, but this is my go-to. If I'm gonna grab a cigar, I always just grab it out of here. So I've got pretty much, my rule is kind of 2 of every one of these is in here, and then my box of Bouchons that Uncle Willie kind of taught us about. And I've only smoked one of these, I believe. So there's 4 in this box. And then I've got several inside a Tupperware. It'd be interesting to see how these compare to those. If I need to rehab these, I certainly can. All right, guys, so that's really a summary. That's it. That is that is my entire cigar collection here in Maryland. I have no others on order. I have no others hidden in drawers or other Tupperwares or humidors. This is really it. Hey guys, 2 things I want to show you before I get into the individual cigars. So I have 2 kinds of travel humidors, and I think I showed you this one before, but it's just round. It's really got a humidifier or a humidity measure right on the top, so you can see I'm running it. Yeah, hygrometer. You can see I'm running it at about 80%. It's cedar line, and I keep a pack, a Bovita pack in there. You can probably put about 6 cigars in here. It seals nicely. It keeps them in great shape, and it's hard. You can't crush this. You can't pop this lid open. So it's a nice way to travel with this thing. I have another one which I don't use as often. I just thought it would look cool. It's got a magnetic lid, so it won't fall off. It's obviously wood, so it protects. It's a great thing if you slide it into a suitcase. This thing does not bend or anything, so it's a benchmark. And then you open up, and it's pretty small inside. You can get about 5 in there, maybe. And it's got no hygrometer on it, but you can stick some Bovita packs in here with it. So when I do travel, I use this more, but this is a good suitcase thing as well. It's flat. I don't know. Just depends on what you like better. I just thought the wood, I like the wood look, so this feels good and it looks good. This is probably more useful, but those are the 2 travel humidors I use. All right, guys, we'll go through these individually, but in those Tupperwares in the humidor, there are 14 cigar brands. So this is what I keep. This is what I smoke. Almost every one of these came from Dwayne at Dry Creek Wrangler School. He really influenced me at the very earliest part when I was getting started. And I've included his video a few times, why I smoke cigars. And that really is what got me started back into my cigars. And then that plus the memory of my dad got me started into the pipes. And now, kind of the rest is history 13 months later. All right. So we'll just wanted to show this to you. And I'll show them to you individually. All right, guys. If you ever look at me and shake your head about what an idiot this guy is for pipes, wait till you hear me talk about cigars. You'll think I'm a genius with pipes compared to it now. All right, so the first one is one you've seen. In fact, I was smoking it yesterday at Paddock is Black. It's a 6x60. It's the Gigante is what they call it. Anyway, this is dark, bold. This is in your face. I love it. You've also seen me smoke these little pipe cigars. I've smoked one of these. Uncle Willie introduced us to them. I found it fantastic. It was messier than I expected, but it was really tasty. Now I'm talking about it, I want one. Maybe I'll do one this afternoon. I have 2 Cohibas. The Macassar, I don't really know it very well. And then the Cohiba Black. And this is another one I find. This is bold. This is in your face. But I do like it. It's even lined. So it's a lot of these are 6x60s. That's kind of my go-to size if I can find them. I've got 2 Charter Oaks. One's the darker wrapper, I think the Maduro wrapper. One's the lighter wrapper. Great smokes. Charter Oak Connecticut blends. Not sure what else to tell you about those. My Perdomo Habano, and this is also a Maduro. And then a Churchill, my Oliva V. This is an Oliva Series V. This is my Liga Liga Especial. So there's the Oliva Series V, and then my Liga Especial. This is a great cigar as well. I didn't grab it, but you saw it earlier. So I have the Oliva Series V Melanio as well. Then I have a Brick House Maduro. I think these move more towards the affordable end. I know Dwayne at Dry Creek always tries to keep some, he comes from a poor background as well. And so he's pretty good about giving you prices. And let's see, another one is the Perdomo. And I just called it the Champagne 10th Anniversary. I mean, it might have a better name, but the Perdomo, let's see if I can get, there we go. Champagne 10th Anniversary. Great stick. The Liga Privada number 9. That's kind of famous stick, right? It's not wrapped, so it's just bare out in your humidor. But the Liga Privada number 9. Then this is a bargain stick. This is called the Christoph. This is another bargain stick that I got from Dwayne at Dry Creek. The LFD Airbender. I've only smoked one of these. I don't know these things very well yet. But LFD Airbender. And then the last one, this is a nice one. This is the Davidoff late, what do they call it? The late hour. So it's a Winston Churchill. Let me get that out of my there. Winston Churchill, Davidoff, the late hour. This is a really nice smoke as well. All right, guys, that's it. That is my entire cigar collection here in Maryland. What you don't see are any Olmecs, Olmekeck, Olmec. I'll do those when I'm in Wyoming. Those are my absolute favorite sticks. They are hard to get nowadays. So anyway, that's it. We'll move on. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the little tour of the Paddock's cigar collection. Not nearly as impressive as the tobacco, I realize, but I don't smoke. I'm probably a 90% pipe smoker at this point. So guys, a couple things I want to talk about before we get out of here and close out the video. One is on part 5, during the series, I talked about the need to get rid of the two-front war, that you can't fight the war out there making a successful business or changing your life and then come home and fight the war at home. And we just don't have that kind of stamina to take on two wars every day. So I want to talk about that for a minute. So I want to talk about what I meant by that and what I didn't mean by that. I can't talk with this thing clenched. What I didn't mean was for us to go home and go, see, listen to Dave. Remember? He says you got to quit bugging me. You're causing me stress. You're causing a two-front war. Dave says you should stop doing that. That's not what I meant. I meant the opposite. What I meant was that you going through the other phases, the dreaming and the thinking and the planning, generated a product that was convincing enough that you could sit and talk with someone like your wife, and at each stage, but certainly when you're done and you have a plan and you're ready to pull triggers, that your plan is sufficiently intelligent that someone can look at it and draw the conclusion that you can probably pull this off and it's the right thing to get behind. And wives are way smarter than we want to give them credit for, right? Don't tell them that. Don't show this video to Anne-Marie, right? But your spouse is really the great first test of, are you thinking right? Are you answering the right questions, and are you answering them with intelligent answers that link together, that draw out the scenario, the storyline of what you want to do, and then you apply your numbers and your plan to it, and your plan makes sense. And now, if your wife is just going to look at it and go, well, I don't care what you write, I think it's crap and I don't support it, that's a whole nother issue. But I don't know if too many wives go down that road. If you have one like that, sorry. But in general, they're a great test bench. Test your plan. Does it make sense? What questions do they have? Do they see the scenario, the story, the dream that you see? And if they don't, you have to modify it so that it does. Because if she doesn't, a banker won't, a client won't. I mean, there's a good chance that she isn't the only one that doesn't understand it. So I meant it as, get your two front war address and get her and your family on board, and use logic to do it, not browbeating. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I told you before, when I presented mine to Anne-Marie, because my job got terminated, I had to present what my plan was. Now, we'd been talking about it over weeks, but I told you this before about saying, my wife's acid test was, can you not screw up and lose the house? And so I could legitimately say, so the question she asked was different than the question I answered. You've seen me do that to you guys too. She said, hey, does this plan allow us to keep making the house payments and not lose the house? And my answer was yes, because the question I answered was, can I continue to make the house payments? Because we had been saving, and we had a year's worth of house payments saved up. So, I was legitimately saying, don't worry, we'll make the house payment. We're not going to lose the house. That's really all she cared about. I don't think she realized that it was going to come from our savings and not from the generation of profit month one on this thing. But there's my story of how I got my two front war addressed. The other thing that helped me was, we got married in Maryland and we lived in Seattle for 3 years, but it became obvious that we were either going to get divorced or move to Maryland, because my wife is very tight with her family and it needed to be here. And so when that just became apparent, I chose moving everything about life rather than divorce. So I quit my job. I ended my career. We boxed everything up. We moved it to Maryland. We lived with her parents for like 3 months while we looked for a house. Got my job, found a house, and completely started over in order for her to come home. And so when that was done, I sat her down and said, look, I killed everything. I left all my friends, my family, my career. I left everything back in Seattle for you. Now it's your turn. You have to leave me alone to restart my career. And so we did that. So from 91 to 94, almost 3 years, almost exactly, she left me alone to restart my career. And some of that residual pay me back was invoked when I wanted to start my own company and take the opportunity presented me by the Army. So I had a plan. We had the savings. I could take care of her number one concern, and she still owed me a smidge left over from bringing my life to Maryland for her. All right, guys, I'm going to shut up, put all these pieces together, wrap this up, and get the video up. So I'm hoping you're having a good Wednesday, and we will talk again tomorrow on Thursday. Bye, you guys.